Hello, girls. Oh, it's Liz. Thank God for you, Liz. Can always count on Liz, Deb. Liz is a Cosy Confidence crew member and an all-round awesome woman here in Brisbane. Thanks, Liz. It's good to know that you can hear me and see Deb. So give me the thumbs up, honey, if you can. That would be great. Hello, and welcome to, I think, is number 6 in our 35-part series here, the Lunchtime Lives community connection series that we started as a way to reach out to you guys during this unnerving, unsettling, strange lockdown that we find ourselves in because of the pandemic. A place for you to come back to every week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Come back, be grounded, and learn some really interesting things from awesome women who are experts in their field. Women I know you will love. So thank you for joining us today. Today in session number 6, we are talking to the lovely Deb from Olive and Ash. And Olive and Ash, I'll let Deb explain a little bit more to you about her business and her background, but she knows her stuff in this field. And we met a couple of years ago through the Her Business Network. And pardon the pun, but we gelled, didn't we, Deb? And we have been great mates ever since, and are really looking forward to, we've collaborated on a couple of things. Deb helped out with the retreat that I did last year and provided some beautiful gifts for that for the girls, just some lovely skincare, beautiful things. And Deb is joining us from freezing Tassie. I heard on the weather this morning, it is snowing down there and we've got 30 degrees here in Brisbane. How outrageous. Deb, what's happening?
I was thinking about it yesterday with Linda from Darwin and her saying how hot it was, and then this morning, snow on the mountains. So it made me have a chuckle. So I've had heaters on, jumpers on, off. It's been one of those sort of days, but it's a comfortable 14 degrees. It's fine.
A comfortable 14. Gee, all of us, hey Lizzie, we'd be reaching for the scarves, the beanies, the heaters, everything would be triple layers if it was 14 degrees. How strange.
That's right.
So tell us a bit about you, Deb, and your particular passion.
I'm a naturopath, and so it's about philosophy of life, I think, being a naturopath, and not that you believe in this or that, it's the way you live your life. And for practicing for so many years, you see clients and there's always underlyings, in people's presentations. And I found with most people with issues of skin and things like that, regardless of what you did, it did all come down to what you were putting on your skin. And there's always a question about how much product absorbs into your skin, but we know at least 60% of what you put on your skin does absorb into your skin. And so my partner, Andrew, who's a very talented chef, he was overcooking, and so he transferred into making soap, and which is like baking without a use-by date. And so it was very nice. And but him being him, he honed in to making the oldest soap continually made in the world, which is just made from olive oil. So, we would say we're experts in making the hardest soap in the world to make, but also the most beneficial product that we can put onto our skin. So the passion just continues, and all we aim at is that people can use product that benefits them. And so that just continues with our philosophy. We would never accept anyone to put onto their skin what we wouldn't put onto ours. And so
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and so it just carries through, and we just get such joy out of our customers, because if you can help one person, we feel we've done a lot. So
yeah, and you are so generous, Deb, and so thoughtful, girls. She is so generous and thoughtful, and it comes through in everything you do. So I know today when we have this discussion about something that's very topical right now, we thought let's launch in with the big guns.
Yeah,
and
many
talk,
people will be,
and talk hygiene, and particular hand hygiene. And there's a lot, we've been encouraged to wash our hands and to use sanitizers And even the other day when I went to Coles to shop, right, it's changed again. So I was virtually assaulted by the security guard who came running over with a giant pack of sanitizer and proceeded to, spray my hands with it. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? So, Deb, can you set us straight on what this coronavirus is? Virus, fine, but why are we being asked to wash our hands? And and why bother? Does it work? What is working? What should we be doing? And what shouldn't we be doing?
Yeah. I know it's a topic that's very topical, and in a lot of aspects, I think we're turning off because that's all we're hearing about, and we need some uplifting stories. But unfortunately, it is a hygiene situation, and when we're talking about virus, people always think about bacteria. Bacteria is a living being that exists in us, our gut, we always hear now about microbiome and how the benefits of the gut and things like that. So bacteria are a living thing, where a virus is not a living thing, and a virus must have a host to live on. And so if you can remove the host, then there's less chance for that to survive. And that's why there's always the discussion about using soaps and using sanitizers. So when you're looking at the virus, it has a fat outer layer. And so when you wash your hands, soaps being made from fat breaks down the outer cell of the virus. So it destroys it. Right. It doesn't exist anymore. So when we're using soaps, and it is, they say that 20 seconds, it's not hard and fast rule of 20 seconds. It's about doing it for a length of time that that you're working over the whole hand. And so, especially in between the fingers that we do things. So by washing our hands, we know we're removing the virus and everything from the skin at the same time. So we're not destroying the skin like we wash all the time, be our body and things like that. We have to understand the body structure is that soap does not hit our skin. We do have a barrier, and so all soap does is allows it to get closer to the barrier of our physical skin. Right. But when we're talking about sanitizers should be used as that last resort. There is no need to have sanitizers using them in our house if we're in this confinement environment, because you have got access to soap. And so what sanitizers do is also can destroy the virus on the skin as long as you're using the right sanitizer. And that's where all the myths and things, where because we focus on people with the most sensitive skin, because our belief is we cater for the most sensitive, that means everyone can use it. People have this fear of using alcohol on their skin because it's then going to destroy their skin. So, but the myths are a sanitizer must contain alcohol. So alcohol-free sanitizer will not really work. If you've got a soap-free sanitizer and you have a little one in your bag and you're going out and about as pre-corona and you go to a public toilet or something like that, something will, it'll clean your hands. A sanitizer must contain between 60 and 85% alcohol. Right. Because you need a minimum 60% alcohol in a product for it to be able to break down the outer fatty layer of the virus. Right. Putting people, there's all these things on the internet and they're about making your own sanitizers and everything. That's fine, but it's understanding the principles of it. You never put straight alcohol on your hands. So, because it must have a component of water to activate the alcohol. So, So putting straight alcohol on our hands will not kill the virus.
So don't grab the gin bottle, girls, and go pouring it on your hands in the afternoon. Don't do that.
Or a gin and tonic. It's right. Because it's very important that, I'm sure, other speakers will talk about in the importance of stress within all this. use the gin for a nice G&T to relax and not waste it, or a
on your
vodka
hand.
tonic on your hands, because
Right.
it doesn't have the quantity of alcohol that you need. So it's yeah, but you know, it's very important that you have the G&T. You do put the lemon in, because the lemon is a wonderful antiviral. So citrus is a wonderful antiviral. And
now, there's the other thing there. You've touched on that other word, and this is where I must admit I get a bit confused, because hand sanitizers are antibacterial. That's what they say on them.
That's right.
They don't say antiviral. So I'm thinking, okay, I understand that. Are we talking about killing the virus, or are we talking about getting it off our hands?
That's right. So we're talking about, so when you wash your hands, you're killing 90, well, we don't know exactly how many, you know, the majority of the virus from our hands. But it's then the drying of the hands is just as important as the washing of the hands, because when we're washing them underwater, you think the soap and everything is going down the sink, but we're not getting everything from our hands. And, you know, I don't know about others, I've never really been into hand dryers until those Dyson ones, you know, like at the airport.
They're quick and they're good.
But it feels good, you know, and so I always go, oh, a Dyson, and I'll actually go and use it, which is really boring. But I think it just feels like a nice massage on the hands, and it's quick. And but it's really important when you're washing your hands that you use paper towel, because by using paper towel, you're removing the residual of the virus or the bugs from your hands, and then you're throwing it away, which you then you can put on your compost and things like that. So it's not, you know, environmentally can be that bad. Where if you're using wet hands or an air dryer, you're adhering the virus back onto your skin.
Back onto your skin.
Because the air dryer dries it back again. Right.
You're hard baking it back on whatever's left on your hands. Okay. So if I've got this right, we wash our hands for 20 seconds, recommended, and some say happy birthday twice or whatever. And that's primarily because the soap helps to break down the virus, but it's also the friction of wiping the virus off our hands. Right, really important to get that across to teenagers in particular. Very important. Okay, and then with sanitizers, they're around to use as a backup when we don't have soap and water. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. So by having a sanitizer...
But they don't work the same way, or they do work the same way? No.
Once you have a minimum of 60% to the 85% alcohol, it will work in the same way as a soap, because it's breaking down the outer level of the virus.
Okay.
But we don't recommend always using sanitizers because of the damage that it's doing to our skin structure and other good bacteria that we have on our skin, because it destroys everything. And so a sanitizer in your workplace, in your vehicle, having one in your bag, or you know.
Oops, I've just lost you, Deb. Oh no.
I'm still here.
Oops. Oh, Deb, are you still there, darling?
I'm here. I just disconnected and came back again. Yes, I am.
Deb, are you there, darling? Oh, okay. I think we missed, just as the internet was cutting in and out. So I think we missed up until the bit where you said sanitizers work like soaps because they break down
the outer level.
You know, that outer fatty layer, and then I think we lost you. So would you mind repeating that again?
No,
sorry.
That's fine. It's probably my reception here as well. So it can work the same as a soap because it breaks down the outer layer if you've got the right alcohol content.
Alcohol, right.
It's all about the alcohol
Right.
level. And but we don't want to be putting it on our skin all the time because of the damage it can do to our skin, breaking down the microbiome structure in our skin and really creating dryness and then cracks, which then leads to a whole new level of problems on our skin. And the last thing we want to do is expose skin. And so it's about having it when you're going out, or you might receive a lot, like we receive a lot of parcels, with our raw ingredients and things like that. So I'll spray the box with sanitizer, or because you don't want to soap up a box. So there are times to use a sanitizer at home if you're receiving parcels or things like that, or big boxes from the supermarket or things. But it's for when you're out, having it in your bag, having it in your car, having one on your desk in your workplace. When you get to the supermarket and you have your one of choice, spray that instead of being assaulted with one that that might not suit your skin type, because we do have to remember the ingredients in the commercial ones aren't the best. It's all about the chemicals that they put in certain things, which are more damaging to our skin type.
More aggressive.
So, that's right. And so I was in a shop the other day and they wouldn't let me in without sanitizing. They made me wear gloves, but I have my own. So I say, there you go, I've got my own, and I'll use that. And so you might need to use a public toilet. You might be using trolleys at the supermarket and they're not cleaning it anymore.
Yes.
Yeah. So and that's when you use a sanitizer, when you just don't have the option to use a soap. So do have their place, but don't be at home and touch something and go, oh, now I have to sanitize.
Have the pump pack ready or whatever, the spray pack ready to go.
Yeah. And don't, there was an interesting episode with Dr. Carl. I like listening to Dr. Carl's podcast, and people were ringing in about absorption into the skin, and they are blowing over on breathalyzers. So, and that proves how much what we put onto our skin absorbs.
Wow, how much we absorb then and take in, and wow.
Yeah. One gentleman rang in and said that he was an ex-policeman and he just used sanitizer, and he was pulled over for breathalyzer, and they believed him because he was an ex-policeman, and another guy. Then they all bombarded with, oh, I've got my own breathalyzer in my car and I put sanitizer on, then blew in it, and then I couldn't start my car for 30 minutes. So
doesn't mean you can rely on the hand gel, girls, to cover up if you've had a few. Don't do that either.
But it's
another top tip.
That's right. Don't smother it all over your kids.
No.
That's where it's use it in the same situation, but don't get over. We have to stay calm. Stress is not a good way to approach this whole situation. And so it's all about the ingredients and what we have access to. Having a bottle in our pocket doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. And for me too, I think having tissues or something, because I'm still a big wiper of the surfaces down. I was pre-corona. I've always been a bit of a, especially on shopping trolleys. So that's good to know. Arm with a packet of tissues and your sanitizer, and be self-sufficient, wipe away. Yeah.
Like if you've unloaded your shopping from the supermarket, soap it down. As a chef myself, it's sudsing up the bench is always a good thing, because the virus does live on surfaces.
And it lasts for a few days, doesn't it? It's not just hours.
That's right. Different surfaces. It's the more cardboards and laminates and things like that. It's the smooth surfaces that it survives longer on. It's not on the hair, it doesn't survive, and things like that. It's more just your smooth surfaces. Yeah.
God, Deb, I'm learning so much. This is great. It's a really good session. So just to recap, we wash our hands with soap because it breaks down the fatty layer of the virus, which helps to break down the virus, but it's also the friction that wipes it off our hands. And we say 20 seconds to make sure we get in between our hands, like the surgeons do. I've been binging on Grey's Anatomy again lately, and I've been watching them all in surgery doing this. Let's get under the nails and on the back of the hands and do that, hence the 20 seconds. And then we've got sanitizers as backup, but not to use at home where we've got access to soap and water, because we need to look after our hands. They're quite damaging, and they're not as effective as 20 seconds of soap and water washing will be.
That's right. And remembering that soap-free soaps aren't soap, because soap-free soaps aren't made from fat, and it's all about the fat, because all soaps are made from fat. So all your commercial soap-frees are not soap. So
what are they?
Well, they're made from other substrates. They're not made from fat. See, a solid bar of soap, or we make what we call a liquid castile, which is your olive oil. Yeah, liquid castile. All soap is made from fat. So there's no such thing as a goat's milk soap or soap made from goat's milk, things like that. It's made from, we use olive oil. Other people use animal fats.
Right.
Some people use coconut oil, but it has to have a fat component. So soap-free hand washes and soap-free body washes and all that aren't soap. So,
and because they're not soap, they're not going to help to break down that fatty.
It won't kill the virus. It might help to remove it from the skin, but it's not going to kill the virus, because it's the virus, right? Fat. It's the fat component on things that is important. So just go back to the old-fashioned, use a bar of soap. There's nothing wrong with using soap. It's just the soap you use is the important thing. Because, again, commercial products are made to dry your skin, because they remove the moisturizing components from your skin. So a lot of people go onto soap-free because they think the soap they're using is damaging their skin. It's not the soap that's damaging the skin, it's the brand of soap that they use.
Right. Deb, that sounds to me like a whole other topic that we can delve into on another day.
Right, yeah.
My goodness, that's incredible. Okay. And I must admit, I'm tempted with the soap-free stuff because it doesn't leave the scum, So when I go to clean the shower and the bath, it's like, well, it's not so bad. But I do love olive oil, I must confess. It's my favourite.
Many years ago, someone accused Andrew of leaving soap scum in their shower, and he was mortified. And he did lots of research on that. And most of the time, the scum is caused by the pH and everything of your water. So it's everything in your water that actually creates soap scum as well. So it's the soap and the water, but it's not just the soap.
Not just the soap.
Yeah, that's right. So a lot of the time it's the combination of things, but it's the pH of your water that causes the
Girls, maybe we should have a whole soap episode. What do you think? I don't know. Let me know. Actually, on that point, Deb's going to tune in for a couple of more sessions on natural beauty, and in particular skincare, because that's her thing. If there is a topic that interests you, then please let us know in the feed, and Deb will consider that and throw that into the mix when she comes back to talk to us again, because Deb, this has been fascinating. I love unearthing the facts, and thank you for revealing a lot of those to us. I know that sanitizers have been hard to get hold of as well. There's people that are trying to produce them. We hear of all these amazing stories where distilleries are teaming up with manufacturers, and I love the local as well, supporting Australian business. Now you're based in Tassie, and you make in Tassie where you are.
That's right. So
you make in Tassie.
That's right. One of our philosophies also is we didn't move to Tasmania to buy things from China, and so I think living in any community, it doesn't matter where you are, a community is very important for supporting, and we can't ask people to support us in our business if we don't support local. So it's about everyone doing their bit to help each other, and then we can all succeed in business. And so our olive oil supplier is 20 k's away. We don't want to grow the olives because that's not our business philosophy. It's about supporting each other. Our packaging is local, Australian made packaging for our, yes, we do use plastics in our bottles, but it's Australian made, 100% carbon neutral. We have a very strong ethical environmental, no palm oil, anything at all in any of our ingredients, at all, in any form, shape. So it's all about supporting local. And so we sat down and went, okay, half of our business closed off because we're at Salamanca Market and things like that. And so we have had a wonderful relationship with a customer for many years, and he owns a distillery. And so we sat down with John and said, well, can you supply us with alcohol? And so we've, like, to all the standard of all of our product, our sanitizer that we're just finishing making is not like sanitizers. You know, we've been sending out samples for the last month, and and so to all our most sensitive skin, because we wouldn't put on the market if it didn't cater for our problem skin people. And so our feedback has been amazing. But being in Tassie, you know, if anyone's expecting parcels, you understand that nothing's really moving. So we're waiting. We've got 7,000 bottles of sanitizer ready to go, but we're waiting on our packaging to arrive.
Honey, I'm waiting on a parcel to come from the Gold Coast 3 days ago express. So, you know, things are taking time.
Australia Post, everyone's in the same situation. So, and anything that is coming in from overseas has to go in quarantine for 14 days before it's released off wharf. So I've got X amount of thousands of bottles, but I'm waiting for some lids, or I've got that lid and no bottles. So we'll have a sanitizer out really shortly, and so we're very excited. And
well, that is awesome, and I love your whole philosophy, Deb, and I'm really proud to support you because I know your products are beautiful and they're all have got high quality ingredients, and I'm really thrilled that you're working on bringing out a sanitizer. You can do so much good with this, and congratulations on teaming up with local providers to bring an Aussie product to the market for us Aussie homes. If any of our girls, and I know I'm on the list, want to get any of your sanitizers, what should they do next? Or if they want to learn any more about what you've talked about today, where can they go?
Okay, so at the moment, of course, it's not on our website, but we have very loyal customers, and so our database, our customers, be it local or interstate, are getting first access to any of our product. We're not, you know, we'll down the road open it up to outer people, but local people and people in our community will get first access as soon as it's off the press. So if anyone can either like us on Facebook or go to our website and sign up to our VIP list. And that means we don't bombard people with emails. You know, we only ever do educational emails, and so people can sign up, and that means you get first access to it. And
that's probably the best way. Yeah,
like our fruit and veggie, local fruit and veggie, organic fruit and veggie guys. You know, they I dropped some samples off to them, and they said, "Oh, please," because they're doing veggie boxes, and they said, "Oh, can we still please have some for our staff?" So I gave them whatever they wanted, and then they came back and said, "Oh, people in the other shops want 10 and this and this," and I go, No, you will be rationed. That's right, you will be rationed, and so you got what you wanted because you're doing an essential service, and so sign up to our VIP list, and then we'll you know, you'll be first to get dibs, and we will be express posting everything because of the Australia Post situation.
Yeah, that is awesome. Great.
And so bundles as well, you know, little bundles so people can get moisturizers and the sanitizer or things like that too, to cover their whole needs. Yes.
Needs. And I think that's great. I mean, we've spoken about that. I think looking after your hands is with, you know, moisturizer or whatever is a whole other topic I'd love to talk about as well. So we will put, girls, I'll put Deb's details in the feed, in the Facebook feed, with a link to where you can sign up if you are interested in getting on the waiting list for this incredible local product, all Aussie, made in Tassie with local ingredients. So, Deb, I am looking at the clock on my computer and it says 12:31. That's our 30 minutes. We've got some lovely comments there from two Lizzes. I haven't seen any questions come in, so I'm assuming that there's none to answer later, there now.
You know, I can you can direct me to them, and I will. Questions that you have. No worries. Lovely. Thank you, everybody.
Great. Thanks, Deb. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Happy weekend. Bye.
Bye.